to that program.
Yes.
So, but we are a little down on our funds already this year. So we just need to get the word back out that the backpack program is still here in our community and we need a little help with it.
Tell us how it works. Tell us how it works.
Okay, so how the backpack program works is that each child is referred to far as the Hope and Cope Center or Friskies program. Then they, far as either or myself, if somebody knows me and says my child needs this, we send a permission slip home to the parents or guardians, whoever they live with, and they have to say, okay, it's okay for this child to receive the food. Then on Friday afternoon before they leave, a bag of food. It has either between 15 to 18 items, kid-friendly items in that bag for them to have for that weekend. Also, our preschool it gets sent home on Thursday before they go home because they don't go to school on Fridays. So, if you know a child that is in need and needs to be on this program, you can contact myself at 270-365-2787, or you can contact Teresa Ray or Stephanie Randall, our Frisky coordinators for our schools. And then they can help you far as also get the proper paperwork that the participant needs.
And when you're talking about kid-friendly food, I mean, this is food that they can cook themselves fairly easily or that doesn't need to be cooked at all.
Correct. It's foods that either maybe, for instance, I know raviolis are not the most healthiest food, but it's foods that children can pop off that top, maybe put it in the microwave, or doesn't have to be microwave. Or we're talking about a fruit cup or a box of cereal. They do have individual boxes of cereal, for these children. Also, a juice or some kind of staple far as milk gets sent home as well. Fruit snacks, beef jerky, anything that's going to be far as healthy and somewhat healthy and far as that the kid can fix themselves.
Well, now, when you talk about the backpacks and that sort of thing, I mean, is it put in their backpack or did you also, have to collect some backpacks for this?
Actually, we tried when we first started with the backpacks, and it just got a little far as harder to use because some of our little ones didn't bring the backpacks back. So what we've started is they're in like a Walmart sack, a grocery sack, and then I take the sacks to each individual school, usually on Tuesday and Thursday of that week. And then the ladies from the Hope and Cope Center, they are fantastic, by the way. They make sure that it's in some kind of bag that's going to be okay for the child to take on the bus, that they could slip either in their backpack or it's a drawstring bag. We tried to keep this as discreet as possible, especially while they're in school, because, sometimes getting that stigma or just the confidentiality, we try to keep it as discreet as possible so other kids don't know that these kids are on this program, so it's not necessarily a backpack. It could be a drawstring bag, or it could be like a black bag, that they could slip into their backpacks.
Well, it's with when you said the confidentiality, I mean, that's a big thing for kids, I mean, that some kids might, rather be hungry than for somebody to know.
Right.
And parents can be that way too.
Absolutely. Sometimes it's hard to ask for help when you do need that little extra help. But we've also had people on the program that sign their children up, and then halfway through school, they got a job or finances got better, and they asked to be taken off that program so other children can, receive that the benefits for this program as well. So.
And it's quality food as well, because you've had a wonderful partnership with Feeding America all these years, haven't you?
Absolutely. Feed America, Kentucky Heartland out of Elizabethtown is who we contract through for the food that we receive. Now, we also have community members, churches that give each week or once a month, to add extra food to these to the bag as well. But Feed America, they're able to get the food at little to no cost and being able to fix up these bags for the children. A lot of times they have partnerships with big corporations, or they get it all donated and that. So it costs about $2 per bag each week is what it costs. So they try to keep the cost as low as possible for the children as well. So, in which the children, it doesn't cost the children anything. It is all strictly based off from donations for our amazing community that we live in. And then also far as either doing fundraising, or that's how we're able to function and be able to do this program. So
how many children do you have participating as we start school?
I'm not currently sure
Okay.
as far as how many we have right now.
Mm-hmm.
I know our funds, we have enough to serve about 78 children right now. Last year we served about 120 kids.
Wow.
So we're down a little bit, but God provides and our community provides. So
Right.
Well, and when you think about it, it's hard to imagine 120 kids, Ty, in our neighborhood and in our county, that need that help. That's hard to imagine. I mean, as a parent, you don't want to think about things like that. But now that number, that encompasses the whole school system, right? Not just the high school or primary.
No, that is for all 4 schools. Yes. And, as they get in high school, they may not want to, take it, which is okay, but we still do serve all 4 schools. And then if they do have siblings that are, younger, not babies, but are younger that are not in school yet, and if we know that child does have a sibling and all the parent has to do is sign a permission slip for that child as well, and then we can send an extra bag home for that child as well.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah, it's a wonderful supplement because you don't realize how many of these children do need that. And when they go, some of the best meals that they might get are during the week at school. And then when they leave school, then they're struggling to find something or have something in their home. And then, of course, this really helps them be sustained over the weekend till they can get back and have the lunches that are free to our students here in the Caldwell County school system. So.
Absolutely, and Leanne Gilkey started, King's Kitchen several years ago for the summer, and I'm so thankful that she done that because of the need is here as well, so people don't realize, that it is here, but it is.
And that's kind of where the backpacks leave off in the summer, where they kind of leave off. King's Kitchen will pick it up in the summer.
They sure do. They pick it up and take care of them through the summer. And like you said, this, some of these kids, the only meal they get is breakfast and lunch at school, and they do not get any food until they come back to school. We also, if there's a long week for spring break or Christmas break, we don't send enough food for them to have for that whole time, but we try to send extra food so maybe they'll have something, little to help them along the way.
Yeah, because we have I guess Labor Day, we've got kind of a long holiday weekend coming up for that too. And it's things that we take for granted. It's, when we sit down and we eat that extra bowl of ice cream that maybe I don't want to admit that I ate, but when we do, we don't think about the fact that there's kids right here in our area that, hey, that's a luxury, to a lot of people. So.
Absolutely, and I kind of, when I talk about this to other organizations and churches and that, I kind of ask the question, hey, could you imagine not having food, how your stomach would feel? Your stomach is growling and, of not knowing when your next meal is going to come. And not only from that, as far as you cannot concentrate on anything else, and so that's where these kids are at. A lot of times, they can't concentrate, they can't, see what's going on because all they're focusing on is I'm hungry and I don't have, when am I going to eat next?
Well, and that takes a load off a parent too, knowing that, your kid's got something when you can't provide. That's one of those things that, if you think your kid is hungry, that's got to be the worst feeling in the world.
Yeah, I agree. It's very hard. So, we're just here to try to help them children, have the food. So
Well, what's the best way we can help right now?
Okay, the best way you can help right now as far as monetary donations. I accept any kind of monetary donations. If you have $1, I will gladly take $1 from you because that dollar will go a long way.
Well, that's half a backpack, right?
Well, it's half of a bag.
Yeah, or a bag. But it's half of a bag.
Yeah. If you would like to donate, it is $120 for an entire school year. Too far as to be able to sponsor a child. Now, if a child starts in the middle of the year, which we've had children to start in April, right before school was out, because they may have come into our community and need that assistant, that's okay. if we don't use that whole entire $120, it does roll over until the next school year. So that's fantastic, that all this will roll over. If you give up until April, that money is still going to stay in our community. And if you would like to donate, you can contact me at 365-2787. That is the Caldwell County Extension Office. That's where I work at. So take anybody far as donations, far as food, or money as well. So.
Well, and when you think about it, you said you had, I think you said 120 last year
yes,
that participated. So if you think that there's 120, and then it costs $120 a year.
Yeah.
So we need 120 people in Caldwell County to give $120, and then all of our kids are taken care of for the school year.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think we could do that. I think our community would pull together to do something like that.
Our community has been so gracious. I'm telling you, since we started this program.
I say, how many years now?
We started January 2010,
yeah.
And I mean, our community has stepped up. They have made sure that these kids have had, either by far as monetary donations or far as sending food, each week for us to be put into the backpacks as well. So
that's over 1,000 kids that got to eat.
Yes. Yeah.
Boy, that's some powerful stuff right there.
No doubt about it. And Joni, when this all got started, tell us how when you went back and you decided this was going to be something that you put your heart and soul in. How did it all get started?
Well, like I said, it is very near and dear to my heart. Children are very near and dear to my heart. And one day we were actually sitting in an interagency, which is actually today. And so the Hope and Cope coordinators at that time was Denise Poole and Catherine Prince. Mm-hmm. And we was sitting in there, and they had just come back from a conference, which I had knew about the backpack program from other communities, but I personally did not know how to get it started. And so we was talking about it, and I mean, they said my eyes just lit up because, it's one of them things. It's like, we can figure this out. And so, PAC's coordinator at that time, Helen Shipman, was also in there, and she wrote a grant for Walmart, and for the program to get started, they donated $5,000 to the program so we could start. And that's when January of 2010 is when it kicked off, and we all had a partnership. And then from there, my church, Cedar Bluff Baptist Church, as far as become the contract holder for the backpack program, and then I become coordinator. And then our Hope and Cope Frisky coordinator, as far as was part of from the get-go of this program, and wanting to make sure that these children was serviced and taken care of. So,
I think a lot of churches in the area actually are active in that backpack program, aren't they?
Yes, they are. We have some churches that are very active in that program. Make sure that monetary donations that are given to make sure, or they may do a food drive for us as well. So
a lot of it comes from their pantries too, don't they?
Yes.
I know Christ Tabernacle has a big relationship with Feed America.
Yes, they have they have our food bank.
Food bank
yes.
there, so that's a big part of it.
Absolutely. And if you don't know where a lot of these resources are, you can call me, and I can try to help you as far as get to what you need and help you be able to help yourself.
No, I love that. We've talked about a lot of community leaders and kids this week because of Coach Barnes, and I think this is another aspect of Caldwell County really kind of giving our kids a hug and saying, look, we want to fix this. So I think that's awesome. Thank you so much for the work you do on that.
Well, I'm telling you, it's a God thing. It really is. So I'm happy to be part of it, and I just want to see it continue to be a great success in our community for these kids.
Well, you never know who it's going to be. That's the part of it. I met a couple of kids the other day who actually had the bag, and they were on their way home, and I said, really? I thought it was wonderful, and they were happy, smiles. Hey, they were good to go. There was one of them that was pretty excited about a couple of things that was in his bag. Actually, he wanted to hurry up and get home and eat it. So, it was. I love that. Anytime you can put a smile on their face about something as simple as food, I love that.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much.
She's got some more things coming up as
I
well
was
on her
hoping.
list. Yeah. She's got some. Of course, we have the homemakers meeting that's coming up. I know that you're always there at that, and that's coming up, and that's always a great event.
Yes, that is coming up. And if you need more information about far as that Homemakers event, you can contact Ashley White, our Family and Consumer Science agent, at the number of 270-365-2787. And if you're not part of a Homemakers group, I highly encourage you to be part of that, that group. Excuse me. Another thing that I have coming up is called Supper Club.
Hey,
oh boy!
I bet you could put Tess in the middle of that. What do you want to bet?
Absolutely. Come on, Tess. We're going to have a good time.
You notice how she doesn't include me.
Ty, you are welcome.
I mean, she said you can put Tess right in the middle of it.
I'm
and
just saying. I thought we were a team here. When it comes to food, get your own.
Oh, she worried about herself.
I love it.
That's a lack of coffee this morning. That's what
No,
it
it's
is.
not. You want it all.
I ain't sharing my popsicle.
I love a supper club.
Oh, me too, because you get to eat.
Get your own, Ty.
Hey, when at Supper Club, you don't have to share with anybody.
Okay.
So we'll have plenty for everybody. So,
Okay.
But that is going to be September the 16th, and it is going to be at nighttime. I know people have lots of things going on during the night. We got ball coming up, soccer coming up, but we also have Supper Club coming up. So I encourage you, if you want to know about healthy meals, preparing easy meals, and just, having a good time as far as learning about food, I encourage you to sign up for this program.
Are we going to eat?
We are going to eat. Absolutely.
You got it, Tess.
There we go.
Absolutely.
That's what
Anytime
you
I'm
were thinking it.
involved. Anytime I'm involved, we eat. So
That's always good.
But like I said, that's going to be September 16th at 5:30. So, but with this program, I have to have at least 5 participants to have this program.
1, 2.
No, there you go.
I got 2 already.
Oh,
That's
she
awesome.
included me. I'm complete.
Once I figured out I didn't have to share with you, yes, it's fine.
She finally included you,
Oh my
Ty.
goodness.
Hey, it will be a good time, and just because she says healthy meals, now that does not mean bland in any way. If
No.
you've ever been a part of a Joni meal, you will know. And there's pictures online and that sort of thing. So she tries out all the new stuff like the cheddar cauliflower and all that stuff. You try out all of that stuff.
I try to try all that stuff, absolutely. So, but these are going to be easy meals that you can prepare at home and at low cost.
Do you have an idea of the menu yet? Or are you going to? Are you?
No, Ty, I
Okay.
don't. You put me
You
on
would-
the spot
do-
there.
oh,
I actually do not, but I do know that it will be some kind of low cost, healthy meal that we'll be trying and tasting.
Well,
So.
I like that though, because a lot of times low cost means a lot of pasta and a lot of heavy, creams and sauces and gravies. That's how you really, as a mama, that could stretch a penny or that's how you make a big meal. On a shoestring
but
budget.
it's still around myplate.gov, but
Yes.
myplate.gov though, right? It's going to be kind of around that.
Absolutely.
That realm.
Yes, it's going to be, far as trying to hit all of the food groups.
See, I love that.
Yeah, and, and just because you don't want to eat healthy doesn't mean the food's not good.
Right.
Because the calendar that we have this year, the NEP calendar, I actually got to be part of putting that calendar together. And
neat.
all of the recipes in there, I absolutely love. And I am not a picky person, but I am kind of picky when it comes to certain foods, but they're all...
This is perfect timing, too, because of garden season. I mean, this is really a good
Yes.
time for a lot of the tomatoes to be kind of finishing up and your squash and everything kind of finishing up. So
Yeah.
the peas and the beans being done. So, I mean, this is kind of perfect timing for something like that.
Yes, absolutely. So we try to incorporate as much local far as grown vegetables as we can for our programs as well. So, this is just a really good time if you're really trying to watch what you're doing or not trying to watch what you're doing, but just need a little help far as with recipes and food. This is a great opportunity for you to come.
I was on the site last night on choosemyplate.gov. I was just kind of looking at some ideas because starting to put together menu ideas for the week. And there are actually budgeting sections there about how you can put together a low-cost meal, how you can do it weekly, and, of course, keep it, choosemyplate.com friendly is what I call it. I always kid and say, well, I want a big old slice of pizza, and so, but that's not quite Choose My Plate. I want corn dogs and all that stuff. That's not quite Choose My Plate.
Right.
But
just because it may be grown out of the food group
Yeah.
doesn't mean that it's necessarily healthy.
I'm going to tell you, to be honest, some of
Incredible
my
resource.
favorite foods are what you're talking about, Ty. It's the carrots and that have been braised and different things that Man, you talk about flavor. You don't need the pizza. You're not going to miss the pizza. When you have some of that kind of food, that stick to your bones comfort food. I love that.
I actually have a pizza recipe that is, I mean, it's healthy and it is absolutely delicious.
Oh, that's the best of both worlds.
And it has, excuse me, pizzas. I mean, it has barbecue sauce as the sauce on it.
Oh, wow.
And chicken and vegetables. It's got spinach. It's got mushrooms, onions. So
regular crust or cauliflower crust?
No, actually, it is. It's like a flatbread crust, is what it is. So
I like
and
flatbread.
that you can purchase at Walmart. So
good deal.
Or Rulers, or you can even buy the crust that's in the refrigerator section that you can cook yourself. So
that's wonderful. I like easy and taste good. She had me at taste. Well, she had me at supper is what she had me at.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, if you want to learn anything that, we just talked about, or if you've got any ideas that you need help finding, you're welcome to call me and we'll sit down and we'll figure it out. So
what's your phone number?
It is 270-365-2787.
I love that.
Yeah. It's I call it the kind of the brain. I say to call it the brain of Caldwell County, but you go out the extension office, and if you have any questions, it's all research based. It's all research back. University of Kentucky and other universities as well. But Joni can help you if you have nutrition. If you want to learn how to read a nutrition label, sometimes those are confusing. Or you don't understand Julian dating at the grocery store. Can I eat this? Is the date right? I was cleaning out my cabinets the other day, and I was like, man, I was trying to go. I couldn't figure out what was this okay? It didn't say use by or sell by. It was just this number code.
And you just never know.
And there's a code on there that says, when it was packed or when it was, and so that's a riddle in its own right, isn't it, Joni?
Absolutely, and they change all the time.
Yeah.
So, just having a little bit of knowledge to be able to do that. And if you need help far as budgeting your food dollar, budgeting, we can help you with that as well. And like you said, it's actually the best kept secret far as in Caldwell County is the Caldwell County Extension Office. So, but we've got lots of resources to help you.
Well, I'll tell you, I call them all the time asking them questions. They haven't blocked me yet, Ty.
No.
I'm not saying they won't eventually.
We have wonderful agents, and they're always there. And if they're not there and you need them, they will call you back. And Joni Phelps, our SNAP Ed person out here at the UK Extension Office, we can't thank you enough for what you do for our county. And tell us again the date on the supper club.
Okay, it's going to be September 16th at 5:30, and you do need to call and register for this program. So.
And now the homemaker, the dinner that you're having for the homemakers the guild.
Extension homemakers, yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's coming up as well?
That is coming up as well, yes.
And call Ashley if you want to make a reservation for that out there.
Yep.
So.
Okie doke. Well, thank you so much, woman. If you got anything else, come on back and see us.
I sure will. But thank you all for letting me be here this morning.
Thank you, Joni.
Welcome. It's Tess and Ty and Coffee Talk at 1581. I need coffee. 1580 103.3 WPKY. 1580 103.3 WPKY. Hey, the A-Team. That's who's in the house.
No, yeah, well, yeah, you got them going.
Hey,
Yeah.
the A-Team. I'm telling. See,
Dun,
just
dun,
go
dun,
with
dun. Yep.
it. Don't deny me a little bit of fun this morning. Just go.
No, we're in, man.
Hey, we got Brother Wesley Curtis. I love this guy. I don't know to call him my friend or my family or my brother or what to call him. We just love him.
Just call him Ken.
Jack of all trades. I like that too.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Hey, you know, he works very, 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 very hard on the Black Patch Gospel Concert every year. And you've made it a success year after year after year after year after a lot of community involvement as well, right?
Right.
And so who's coming up this year?
Tribute Quartet will be coming up this year. They're from Hendersonville, Tennessee. They've been around for, they've been singing for about 26 years, I believe.
Wow, a minute then.
So a minute and everything. So, but they're one of the top groups in gospel music, male quartet groups. So had the opportunity to get to have them. That was our very first group we had at Green Grove Baptist Church when I took over as pastor a year ago. And so, and I just fell in love with it, which I love their music already, but to get to be seeing, you know, there's nothing like going to see live, because you'll never know. I mean, on their tape, you know, that's just their voices. You can't see them.
It's highly produced.
It's highly produced. But when you get to see them live and just be around them, man, it's just something. And
That's when their personality really comes through.
And that's where I saw their personality. I thought, man, this would be great for to have them in Princeton, and to celebrate our 15th year for the Black Patch singing. So
I can't believe it's been that many years.
I can't either.
Yeah. And I know this has been a passion of yours for years. You do a little singing, you do a little pastoring.
Yep.
And tell us, let's go back now when the bug first hit you. And I know you had to be a lot younger, young man, but tell us about when you were maybe sitting in church or you heard those 4-part crisp harmonies. And when did it hit you? Like, man, I love that.
Well, I mean, growing up, you know, Sunday mornings, the Gospel Jubilee was on, and I know Hopkinsville radio station do their Sunday morning programs, and we would listen to that, and I just fell in love with it. I guess the very first group that I got to see in concert ever was at Liberty Point Baptist Church, my home, the very first church that I attended when I was born. They were having homecoming, and they had the Ken Johnson.
That was in Cadiz, right?
That was in Cadiz. Yep. The Ken Johnson Singers, I believe, was the very first group that I actually got to see, and I just loved it. You know, listen to the 4-part harmonies and everything. But probably the biggest concert that I attended, I was probably about 10 years old, went to Murray, Kentucky on a Sunday afternoon and seen J.D. Summer and Stamps.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Now,
That set the bar pretty high
that's
right
set
there,
the bar
didn't it?
pretty high.
I thought you were going to say Gold City.
No. That was
But that's an awesome.
Yeah, J.D. Sumner and
Yeah.
stuff. And some history without going and looking through it. But there's some kin of J.D. on my mom's side of the family.
Oh, wow.
So, it's,
Well, isn't that convenient?
Yeah.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Too bad I didn't get the bass part.
No, I got a feeling you're a tenor.
I'm a little high tenor.
High tenor.
Mostly lead.
And
He's
you,
being very humble. He is wonderful.
I know that he is, and for many years you attend all the gospel conventions, don't you?
Try to as much
Yeah.
as I can. I know this year, because of circumstances here at home with Krista getting ready to deliver around that time of Quartet.
Yeah, he's going to be an uncle
Yep.
Again.
Again.
Yep.
Times 2 this time.
Oh
So,
boy.
I am so excited about that because I wish everybody could have seen, and I know a lot of people have seen the pictures by now, but the look on your face was priceless when you were holding her.
Oh.
And I knew you were going to be super uncle before
were.
it come around, and boy, was ya.
Right and stuff. So, but so probably won't get to go this year, but I always try to go every other year. Just to go down there.
What is your favorite part of that? Just being able to mingle with a lot of the singers?
Yeah,
and,
that's basically it. I mean, because, occasionally we get like Gold City, Kingsman, groups like that, Perry's, into Princeton, that's about the only time we get to see until we get down to convention, you get to see everybody, and just go up there and talk to them and stuff, and just hang out.
And it helps to maintain that relationship there, so you can you've been working to get these groups here for the last 15 years. Those connections and the bonds that you make with there. I've been to a couple bluegrass conventions, and those are always kind of fun. People, just different places jamming and stuff. Is it like that at the Quartet Convention that people get together and start singing?
Yeah,
and
I mean,
different folks.
I mean, you'll hear stories and just conversations of how you've been doing and stuff. So it's neat. It's really neat.
And they have master classes down there too, correct?
They do.
Yeah.
They have master classes. They got booths galore. I mean, if you don't have a CD,
you can probably find you one or two.
You can find you one or two down there and stuff, and just and just the Southern Gospel fans are like one big happy family. I know last night they had a benefit singing for a well-known singer-songwriter in gospel music, Squire Parson, last night. Squire wrote probably his most famous song is Beulah and stuff, but he's had to come off the road because of some health problems, and that's forced him to come off the road now. And so a bunch of the groups last night got together in North Carolina and had a benefit concert in his honor to help him out. So it's gospel music. It's groups and fans are one big happy family.
One big family.
One big family.
Well, and when they come through, we're at a great place. We're located right here on the interstate. So when they're coming through, a lot of times they kind of have to go through here in a lot of ways,
right?
Because we're right outside of Nashville, so it's very convenient for them to a lot of times stop in, and I've seen you a lot of times help a lot of churches around the area get these groups in that otherwise probably wouldn't have been able to do.
Right. I mean, I was telling somebody just this week, I've already have booked at least 5 homecomings that's coming up in September and October. Some of the groups I know well, some that I just taking a chance on and everything. So, it's we are getting a lot of groups in our area now. Not just here in Princeton, Caldwell County, but in our surrounding areas. And, Providence, a couple of Sundays ago, we had our homecoming. We had Jim and Melissa Brady, had a wonderful time. I counted, that's either our 9th or 10th group that we've had at Green Grove since I've been there. In a year and a half almost. So
we saw it coming.
Yeah.
We knew that was going to happen.
I didn't think it was going to take off that quick.
Yeah.
And stuff, but it's...
Well, when you have the relationships that you do, you have 15 years of, a successful gospel music, show every year. Do you start to gather a little black book, don't you?
I do. I do have connections that I could call and pick up the phone and say, hey, it's this group available on this date, and here's what they need. Can we work it out and stuff?
And a lot of times, really, there's namely a minimal fee, and they're singing for a love offering.
Right.
Isn't that right?
Mostly and stuff. Which here with the Black Patch, we do their flat rate.
Right.
We go ahead and do their flat rate. Basically, this singing here is probably the most costly one that we have to pay.
Right.
And stuff. Basically, but this is how they make their living.
Right.
This is they're on the road 250, almost 300 days a year, away from family, on a bus, and it's not cheap, and they gotta make a living.
No, and we do have some wonderful community partners. Many of the churches will partner with the Optimist Club and help out with getting these fine groups here.
Yeah.
And so we certainly appreciate the community coming together and allowing Wesley to put together these great gospel concerts for Black Patch, because this is a quality group. When you show up at the First Baptist Church at 6 o'clock on Saturday night, September the 7th, you're going to see a quality singing.
And just in case anybody wonders about the seating and the availability of maybe is it handicap accessible, maybe if somebody hasn't been there before, tell us about that.
Right. We do. There is handicap accessibility. It's in the back of the church where the We Care. When you enter into We Care there, you go through that door, and then the elevator's right there, and take the next floor up, and you're right there at the sanctuary. So we do have availability for handicap accessible, even any babies in strollers and stuff. We've had them come in too and stuff. So, but yes, we do have that ability for anyone that wants to come and just afraid to climb the steps. There is a way to get you in.
Well, and some people may say, my kids, they don't like to sit still very good. I better not bring them. I don't know. It's a great place to take your kids.
It's a wonderful place. I mean, you can't go wrong in church and everything. And the good thing about this is a free event. You can come in for just a little while, and then you can walk out.
You don't have to miss anything all day
Right.
long either, because it's in the evening, right?
It's in the evening.
right.
It's right downtown. I mean, because we know there's other events going on during that time. That I like to be here, but I would want to go there too. So this is your opportunity, and we've had people do that. But 9 times out of 10, if a person comes in, they're staying.
My mom and my son, that's their thing every year since he
Yep.
was 3 years old. Eli and Granny are going. So if you go, you'll see a little man in a WPKY shirt. You wave at him right there.
Yep.
That's Eli.
And the wonderful thing about that night in Black Patch, of course, and we'll be talking more about it as we get closer to it. There's something for everybody, and like you said, you can kind of you can kind of come and go to this,
Right.
And then of course Justin Reynolds will be playing that evening as well. We've got the square dance, and of course all kinds of activities for the family for Black Patch. And this is one of the staples last 15 years, one of the highlights, and a lot of folks around here love good Southern gospel music, and the Tribute Quartet will bring it to us that night.
Yep.
So can't
Yep.
thank you enough.
I appreciate it. I appreciate the community support, that they want to continue having this. When I started this 15 years ago, I didn't know how it was going to be welcomed, and it had been welcomed. It's like Ty said, it's becoming one of the highlights, events of Black Patch.
I love that because everybody looks forward to it. And I last year at the I heard, and I wish you could have seen Wes's face when it happened, because I heard a couple of people ask him, so who's coming next year? Do we know who's coming next year? And I wish you could have seen the look on his
it's about
face,
like that.
They're looking forward to it.
Right.
Yeah, and he's probably got something already in the works for next year
Look at
as,
it.
as
Yeah,
well,
he does.
and maybe even have it done.
I have confirmed next year already, Monday. I won't let it out of the bag today.
Oh,
No.
come on.
Yeah.
But I will say it's going to be a little different. It is going to be a little different. Normally we do have group, trio. This time we're going to have just a duet type group.
Oh, wow.
But
Well, is it Krista and
no,
and
it's not.
Wesley?
No, it's not.
Come on.
No, it's not. No, it's not a reunion.
What about the twins? That would be a duet, right?
Yeah, if the twins start singing,
That would be amazing.
That would be
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
that's our retirement package
Yeah,
in the works.
You're
But
a
no.
planner. I'll give it to you.
Yeah, but no, a well-known husband-wife duet.
There's a little hint for you
That's-
fans out there. So
yeah.
I bite my tongue. I got a light bulb.
Yeah, I've got. Yeah, I just went ding. I had a ding, 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 moment.
Because
Yeah,
I
so-
know some of the people he likes.
Yeah,
So
probably has an E involved, is what I would guess.
That was
We'll
my
just-
probably have an
that
E.
was the
I would
road
think
I
there'd
was
be an
going
E
down.
involved, but we're
I
gonna
think
stop
you
right
said
there.
Just
We're
stop
gonna
right
stop
there.
it right there.
Right there.
But that's
up.
great. This is going to be a wonderful singing. It's the 15th annual Black Patch Gospel Singing, the Tribute Quartet. We're talking. They have really great harmonies, don't they?
great harmonies. I mean, I know I got to hear them back in this year in Cadiz. They were in Cadiz on a Thursday night. Went over there, got to hear them because of the personnel. There was one personnel change this year, the first
And
of
that
the year.
happens every now and then.
And it does, but it's been several years for this group
Right.
to have personnel change. So their tenor singer, who's well known in gospel music, been with several great
What
groups.
is his name, Wesley? Do you know it? I put you on the spot.
You
didn't I?
put me on the
That's
spot.
okay.
It's
Today's
the-
the put Wesley on
Put
the
on-
spot.
I did. I'm
Put
good
me
at
on-
that.
yeah.
I'm good at that.
But I will say he is one of the one of the top tenor singers in gospel, probably top 10.
I love a tenor.
Yeah.
Well, and what if somebody says, I've never been to a Southern gospel and with the harmonies and all that kind of stuff. Can you give me a comparison? The main ones, if you haven't been to something like that, it's kind of like the Statler Brothers,
Right.
or back in the day, the Oak Ridge Boys.
Right.
That type of sound is very similar to
Exactly.
Southern gospel music.
Because those guys were Southern gospel.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
they were.
They started out.
They started out as Southern gospel.
It's
So
Southern
if you
gospel.
like, that I love harmony. I can
Yeah.
listen to somebody harmonize like that all day.
It's like it's like when you take a harmonica and you just take it, and you don't know how to play it,
Right.
but you just blow it,
Blow
and it just sort of, you're just like, wow.
Wow.
And boy, when those harmonies click in,
Right.
and it's just something.
I mean, in a group, it's always your tenor singer and your bass
Singer, yeah.
I remember not too long ago there was a group at Highland, and I got to hear a 27-year-old bass singer rattle the second pew at Highland Baptist Church that I was
Wow.
sitting in.
Yeah.
And I just thought,
Or you feel it right here in your chest,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, you feel it in your chest, you feel it all. I mean, when you get a 27-year-old that can hit a bass note, that
And you feel
That's
it.
and you feel it.
You feel
That's
the vibration.
unusual.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That's fantastic. Well, we know you have a passion for it. We're tickled to death that you're involved with it. You do a wonderful job as a member of the Princeton Optimist Club, and then, of course, to bring these fine groups to Princeton to celebrate the Black Patch Heritage Festival. It's going to be another great one, and
Looking forward to it.
and can't wait to hear about next year. But this year, it is the Tribute Quartet, Saturday night, September 7th, 6 o'clock, First Baptist Church. Come one, come all. You can come and go if you don't want to stay for the whole concert. That's what's nice about the venue there. You can kind of come in and listen, get a little churched up a little bit, and then you can go back out and hit the streets of the Black Patch Heritage Festival. So
That's great.
thank you, Wesley Curtis and the Princeton Optimist Club. We appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate the Optimist Club, and they're getting on board and wanted to have this at the event and stuff. I appreciate that. Appreciate the community support. We are still taking up donations. If anyone wants to give, they can contact me at 270-625-3512 or just send me a message on my Facebook page, and we do appreciate it.
Awesome.
Well, thanks so much. We love you. We hope everything goes
Yeah.
good, and come back before we're there yet, okay?
We'll do.
All right, it's
Thank you,
8:51, and of course today it looks like the fog's all gone. High around 92. We're going to have your complete forecast for you up in just a second on Tess and Ty. 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Well, I'm not going to mention the fog anymore. It's pretty much dissipated. So how about partly sunny throughout the day? We do have a chance of some showers and thunderstorms this afternoon and into the evening hours. High today of 92. Showers and thunderstorms will taper off overnight, mostly cloudy, a low 71, and a 50-50 shot of showers and thunderstorms tomorrow, mostly cloudy otherwise, a high 88. And showers likely early in the day on Friday, clearing out hopefully for Friday night football season opener, Christian County at Caldwell County, a high of 82 tomorrow. Again for today, sunshine, going to be a hot one, a high 92. Watch out for those afternoon storms. Currently 75 at WPKY.
1580 103.3 WPKY. Tess and Ty at 8:54 on a hump day.
Yes, it's Wednesday.
Tuesday. No, Wednesday. What?
Yeah. Reverse.
Oh, I had a coffee maker on Tuesday. That's why I didn't call it Wednesday.
Well, we've sort of limped along with some coffee today.
No, we did.
Yeah,
hey,
we limped along.
Ty went back there and did the manly thing, and then poof, we had some coffee.
We sort of did. I mean, it wasn't quite.
I was giving you credit. Just take
I
it.
appreciate it. I mean, that's about
see?
time. No, I'm kidding.
I stole the supper club from you, so I thought I'd figure
No,
I'd give
you
you the
didn't.
coffee pot.
That's hilarious. You just weren't letting me go to the supper club.
I share. It's just on. It's when it's
Oh,
convenient.
goodness.
Are you kidding me?
I hear you.
Hey, we've got a lot of things coming up. One thing that's coming up today that I don't want anybody to forget before we leave is that the school is going to let out early today. Of course, Mr. Nate Huggins, superintendent for Caldwell County Schools, has reminded us yesterday and again today that 1:10, 1:15 is when your kids and everybody should be leaving the parking lot in the buses. Now, they're going to get out about 12:40. So really and truly, about 12:30, you need to be there if you're picking them up, if they're car riders and that sort of thing. You ought to be in line to pick them up. Don't wait to the last minute, and also don't try to get too early to the funeral this evening or this afternoon. Of course, they're going to open the doors to the high school gymnasium at 2:30. For the funeral for Coach Barnes at the high school gym at 3:30. So that's why all the kids are leaving again. So once again, 12:40 is when the preschool will load the buses. So that means everybody's going to kind of stagger and follow after the preschool just as normal, and then to the elementary, middle, and high school. Now the students are going to be coming home by about 1:10 this afternoon. So be aware.
Yep.
If they show up and you're not ready for it, that's usually what my kids do on the bus. They're like, Mom, I'm home. I'm like, what? Why? Go back to school.
Get back on the
Did
bus.
I just send you over there? But, hey, all joking aside, we will love to see everybody. It should be a gathering today. Going to see a lot of people, and we'll be glad to see them today.
We love
so.
that. We've had lots of waves just
Yes.
a second ago as they're coming by.
Hey, I like that.
So, yeah, we appreciate you listening and waving as you drive by. Give us a honk from time to time.
I do believe that the fog is over with. I think you're right
yeah,
about that. I
yeah,
don't even
the
see any in the trees
Fog
left
has
over.
dissipated. Going to be another hot one, and then we could also see, just like yesterday, those afternoon showers and thunderstorms come rolling in. We'll keep you up to date on that as the weather forecast can change.
Hey, as
especially
you're sitting
this
around
time
the
of
air
year.
conditioner, I know what to do.
What's that?
I got the answer.
Friday night pick'em.
Friday night pick'em.
Yeah, brought to you by Herb Hayes Furniture. This is
That's
going
right.
to be really cool.
It's going to be so much fun. All you got to do is go to the website at yoursportsedge.com and you click, hey, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And it says right there, enter your group or enter by yourself. You can do a private group. You can do it out in front of everybody and wave your flag and say, hey, this is what I think's going to happen. Of course, it's going to be blue and gold the whole time with me because
Sure.
that's just who I is.
You can't pick against the home team.
No. And so, hey, you're going to have some fun with it. We're going to have some fun with it, and you can do it with the whole family. Please, hey, let us know that you're on there. We would love. Hey, I like to compete. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'd like to let everybody
we need to
know
do a
I
test in
won.
Taiwan. You against me.
You're on.
You against me. That's
You're
what we
on.
need to do.
But it's a secret because
The
nobody.
Smackdown.
The
It's been laid
secret,
down.
the secret of Friday Night
I'll show
Pick'em Club is
you not
nobody
to
speaks about Friday Night Pick'em
I'll
Club.
show you to exclude me from the supper club.
I love it. Hey, stick around. Audrey Lamb is going to be in just a little bit with your full newscast. You're going to get caught up on, speaking of sports, all things sports. Mr. Sports himself, Todd Griffin, will be in for your sports update and let you know where we're at and what happened last night for Soccer Tuesday.
And volleyball.
That's right. Volleyball Thursday will be coming up starting September 5th. Will be
Yep.
the first time it's featured on WPKY. And then my favorite night of the week, it's Friday football.
That's right.
And that's going to be the season opener here at Tiger Stadium. Starting at 5:30 is when our pre-show will start on WPKY, so make sure you tune in for that. I love going or looking across the stadium and seeing everybody with their headphones in. They're listening to us at the game. I love
That's
it.
right.
Hey, no joke aside, have a wonderful, wonderful day. We're on the downhill from here. Stick around. They got you update next on 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Well, partly sunny throughout the day. It's going to be a hot one, a high of about 92, and those chance of showers and thunderstorms likely late this afternoon and evening. Showers and thunderstorms will continue early, but then clear out overnight, a low 71. A 50-50 chance of showers and thunderstorms tomorrow, otherwise mostly cloudy, high 88. And showers likely, possibly a thunderstorm during the day on Friday, and then mostly cloudy. Should clear out of here late in the evening hours, a high near 82. Again, for today, sunny, partly sunny, high near 92. Currently 76 at WPKY.